United States Penitentiary, Leavenworth. Located 25 miles northwest of Kansas City, this was the largest maximum security federal prison in the United States for over 100 years.
You can smell that it's old. Even though it's been remodeled, it's there, it lives with you.
Leavenworth was where they sent all of the malefactors, all of the problem inmates from other institutions.
We were the first big dog on the block, and we've maintained that reputation.
Before there was Alcatraz, before there was Marion, Illinois, before there was Florence, Colorado, there was Leavenworth.
September 1912, Robert Franklin Stroud arrives at Leavenworth, serving a sentence for manslaughter.
Robert Stroud was one of the most repugnant inmates that has ever been housed with the Federal Bureau of Prisons. He was a malcontent that ran away from home at the age of 13 from supposedly an abusive father and became a pimp from Detroit, Michigan, all the way to Juneau, Alaska.
He was a psychopath. He had no regard for human life whatsoever.
4 years into his time at Leavenworth, Stroud is thrown into solitary confinement for stabbing a guard to death. The isolation is oppressive.
For a person to survive the whole, it would be about finding something to be able to focus on, whatever that may be.
In the brief time he gets to spend in the rec yard each day, Stroud discovers his focus.
Stroud's out on the rec yard inside the segregation unit and comes across 3 baby sparrows that are injured and decides to pick them up, and he takes them back to his cell. Once he gets them back to his cell, he makes a makeshift eyedropper into a device where he can feed them. He shares part of his food with the birds, and he nurses them back to health.
Instead of taking the sparrows away, prison officials see this as a rare chance to keep the otherwise ultra-violent inmate occupied.
They start allowing him to build an aviary. He's given the opportunity to purchase a microscope. He starts getting other pieces of laboratory equipment in. They start providing him with different types of chemicals from the hospital, and he starts experimenting on these birds that other inmates are giving him.
Stroud becomes an expert on birds and writes a book titled Diseases of Canaries.
He's become a world-renowned ornithologist because he has now found several cures for several different bird diseases.
The book is an unexpected success and garners a lot of attention from other bird enthusiasts.
Robert Stroud got so much fan mail that they had to hire a separate secretary just to go through it all.
And it's not just his fan base that's causing problems.
It just becomes an unsanitary situation by far. There's dead bodies of canaries laying about. There's bodies of dissected canaries that he's just tossed on the floor. There's canary droppings everywhere. He's not a very sanitary person himself, and this creates arguments with the officials at the prison. It's creating a situation to where they needed to do something, but the popularity that he has gained is kind of putting that on a back burner.
May 1930. The newly formed Federal Bureau of Prisons issues a rule that would prevent Stroud from keeping his beloved birds.
With all the popularity that Stroud is receiving at this point in time, it's putting a lot of pressure on the administration of the institution and the director of the Federal Prison Service.
The rule is an excuse to get Stroud to request a transfer out of Leavenworth, but he fights back with the help of a letter-writing campaign from his supporters. Not only does Stroud get to keep his birds, he's granted a second cell to keep them in.
He has discovered that this might be a way to keep himself occupied and manipulate the prison system going forward.
But the administration will not give up that easily.
They wanted to move this guy, so they go in and they shake down Stroud. In the cell, they find that a lot of the equipment that he had used had been turned into a still, and he was manufacturing homemade alcohol. They sent him to Alcatraz on the next train going west.
On December 16, 1942, Robert Stroud is transferred to the only prison with higher security at the time, Alcatraz. It's where he gets his famous nickname, the Birdman of Alcatraz.